Hello, my name is London Durham, and today I'm going to share a little bit about the overpumping of the Trinity Aquifer and the impact it's had on Jacob's Well. So, what is the concern with overpumping of Trinity aquifers, and how has Jacob's Well been impacted? Well, before we can understand the impact of overpumping on Trinity aquifers, we need to understand what Trinity aquifers are and what is the significance in Texas. So, as you can see from the image provided, the Trinity aquifer, it does cross the central and northeastern parts of Texas, and it's comprised of smaller aquifers contained within the Trinity group. As you can see, there's a Trinity group up top, which is the outcrop and subcrop, and then the Trinity plateau below, which is the outcrop and subcrop. And the significance of aquifers are that they provide 55% of water supply for Texas. So because we cannot see the water supply via an aquifer with our naked eye, we have to rely on creeks, springs, and wells to indicate for us the overall health of aquifers. So therefore, if a creek or a spring or a well is low with their water level, that lets us know that there's an issue with the aquifer and that may be resulted in a drought or overpumping by large corporations. So what is Jacob's Well? So Jacob's Well is located in Wimberley, Texas, which is a part of Hays County. A few facts are that it's the second largest fully submerged cave in Texas, and it's also the deepest part of the cavern system is 140 feet deep. And as you can see, families do like to frequent this area for activities such as swimming. So here's a visual representation of what the impact of aquifer overpumping could look like on Jacob's Well. So as you can see, in 2022, the water level for Jacob's Well was normal, but as through a drought and overpumping, you can see that Jacob's Well water level is low. So who is responsible for overpumping the Trinity Aquifer? There are many corporations that pump water in Texas, but Aqua Texas, which is a water utility company that serves Hays County, was fined by Hays Trinity Groundwater Conservation District for pumping over 89 million gallons of water in 2022, which was over the amount allotted by its permit. So why is this a concern for the given community or the overall state? So Aqua Texas could keep its contract, causing an increase in overpumping. And also, the overpumping fine is not much punishment for such a large environmental impact. So when companies are fined and they are of large stature and have lots of financial backing, those fines may not negatively impact that large corporation, and they may be able to keep their contracts to continue to overpump, which makes more of an impact on the community that needs that water source. So how are locals of Hays County affected by the water levels? As we know, we use water as a resource. So wells and springs are used for agriculture and farming, and then the water supply is also used for house utilities and standard modern sustainability. We need water to survive, and those people in the areas rely on that water. So here's an example through research. For groundwater pumping and its impact on Jacob's Well. You can see the areas where there was no drought and the water levels were high. And then you can also see where there's non-exempt pumping and the water levels are lower. So a combination of drought and pumping, you can see that it did cause the water levels to decrease for Jacob's Well. So what are the next steps and how can we support? What can Hays County residents do to save Jacob's Well? So local residents can protest. They can talk to councilmen and local representatives of Wimberley. They can also water their lawns less and follow lawn watering restrictions for their county. They can also plant native grass where possible, which will require less water. But I would suggest consulting and talking and advocating with councilmen and local representatives to help minimize and even mitigate and stop the overpumping of the Trinity aquifers by large corporations. Conclusion. So we all know the overpumping of the Trinity aquifers impacts the water supply of springs and wells across Texas as they provide resources to residents. It is up to local and officials to advocate for the environmentally equitable resourcing and sourcing of water in Texas by large corporations. Thank you.